I've stolen it.
Okay, guys, very exciting. Welcoming our new expansion team, Legion 13, to their very first LIV Golf press conference. We are joined here today by Caleb Surratt. Welcome. Caleb is also new to LIV Golf. Tyrrell Hatton, welcome, Tyrrell, also new to LIV Golf. Jon Rahm, our captain of Legion 13, also new to LIV Golf. And lastly, Kieran Vincent, who's semi-new to LIV Golf. Welcome, guys. I'm just going to kick it off. Jon, how does it feel to be the captain of a team? And tell us a little bit about how you picked this amazing team.
It's definitely a different feel to what I'm used to. Golf being quite an individual sport, to actually be thinking about part of management of any kind it's somewhat unusual for me. But the process was a little bit harder than we would have liked to acquire all the players. Obviously, Kieran being one of the qualifiers, I was up watching the back nine and saw his performance, and I was quite impressed. Too bad for him that he had hit 5 wood on the par 5 of the tee. So probably would have been a lot easier in that playoff. Caleb is, obviously, for people that follow amateur golf, a very accomplished amateur golfer. We played a practice round together last year, actually, on Wednesday of the American Express. So I knew of him enough to know how good it was and what he was capable of. And then that year he went on to win SEC championships, one of the top-ranked amateurs in the world, Walker Cup player, performed great in the Walker Cup. So his amateur resume speaks for his own, and he seemed ready to turn pro. So when he approached us with it, I'm not gonna shy away from somebody who's ready to make that transition. And I'm very happy to have him on the team. And then Tyrrell is somebody I respect a lot. He's a really good friend of mine. We've shared the stage in some of the biggest events in the world, and more recently in the Ryder Cup. Proud to say we're undefeated together. So it's somebody that has always been very high on my list. I think he's somebody who can perform under any circumstances. And, so I think the two of us understand each other very well for some various obvious reasons we're probably not going to get into. But, I see a lot of myself in him as well. So that's probably why I feel such a good connection with him on the team. So I'm happy he accepted the offer and is now a part of it.
And Caleb, you're 19 years old, turning pro here for the first time. Are you feeling a mix of excitement, nerves? What's going on over there?
I think I'm feeling a little bit of everything. I'm definitely feeling the overwhelmment, and I'm definitely feeling the excitement. Just being out here with a lot of the best players in the world is, it's really motivating, and it's something I've worked my whole life for, and I could not be more excited to tee it up on Friday with all these players.
Awesome. And Tyrrell, obviously today is your very first day at LIV Golf, so welcome. I imagine it's been a bit of a whirlwind for you. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it has that feel of like first day at school. Kind of feel like I'm finding my feet a little bit, but yeah, that will take a bit of time, but excited to be here and looking forward to get started on Friday.
Awesome. Just so you guys know, we have a mix of Spanish and English-speaking media here, so I'm sure the Spanish media will want to ask you some stuff in Spanish, but we'll kind of bounce around, okay? I'm going to kick it over to Mike.
Yeah, just one question for Jon. I'm just curious what your approach to being a captain will be like. Obviously, there's a bunch of different approaches out here. Do you have something in mind right now, or is it going to be kind of learn on the go type process?
I think a good captain can adapt to each player, right? I don't think there's one single formula that'll work for everybody, right? Because I know what might work to get the best out of me, it might not work for Kieran or Tyrrell or Caleb, right? So I'm going to have to get to know everybody a little bit better to be able to know what buttons to push, definitely at what times. I'm pretty confident I know how to do that with Tyrrell already. We've spent a lot of time together, so I already know. But with Caleb and Kieran, I'm going to have to learn a little bit on how they are in general, how to manage that. So to answer that, no, I don't really know exactly what I'm going to be doing. But again, like I said earlier, I'm really looking forward to learn.
Thanks. I've got two first for Jon. Can you just describe what the last couple of months have been like? Obviously, it was quite the big move that you've made. It got a lot of attention back in early December. And just the time since, whatever feedback you've gotten in making this move.
Well, the weeks leading up to the announcement weren't the easiest, right? I have to weigh a lot, basically get enough info to then make an informed decision, right? And even through the process of negotiations, I was very, very, very deep waters compared to what I'm used to, right? I had to be more involved than I thought I was going to have to be. But once the announcement was made, I think everything became a lot easier, right? Having to keep the secrecy and not being able to talk to anybody about it was difficult. So again, once it became public, the reaction was pretty much what I expected. The ones that are close friends that maybe had an idea or not has supported me, and there's obviously some people are going to disagree with any decision we make in life. So pretty much in line with what I expected, but it was nice to have some time after that, before my first competition round in LIV Golf, to process and then actually kind of refocus and get to work.
Where is your game right now? How do you feel about it? For the first event of the year?
Feel good. Yeah. I feel good. It's one of the odd parts, right? At this point, I would have maybe already played 3-4 events, right? So it's trying to getting used to that, right? Very used to having to grind a little bit more during Christmas and early in the year to start competing, but I feel confident. I'm always, every time I tee it up, my goal is to win. So no matter what shape my game is in, that's pretty much a goal. And there's been times where on a Tuesday maybe it felt pretty bad and ended up performing great. So it really doesn't matter what it feels like today.
And then for Tyrrell, you had a pretty funny media exchange at the Ryder Cup about your proclivity for swearing and how much you embrace it. And I just wondered, out here, I don't know that they fine for that. So, could this possibly mean that there might be more?
Hold on, do they? Because we're both interested.
I don't know. Yeah, I think
We do not fine for that.
I think
No?
I think me and John could have been in trouble, but I think we'll be okay.
We've definitely been in trouble before. At least I have. I know that.
It's fine.
Esteban.
Gracias. Spanish, esposo. ¿Cómo describirías a tu equipo? ¿Es juventud, experiencia? ¿Cómo lo puedes describir? ¿O leyendas?
Leyendas.
Leyenda.
Legión.
Región.
No, a ver, digamos, es un equipo joven, ¿no? Al final, el Tyrrell siendo más mayor, con 30 y pocos, es un equipo muy joven, que igual, en teoría, falta un poco de experiencia, pero es algo que se puede aprender muy rápidamente, ¿no? Para tener un jugador de 19 años como Caleb, es alguien que ya ha ganado muchísimo como amateur, que sabe cómo hacerlo, sabe cómo competir, ¿no? Así que al final quise venir con un equipo joven con ganas de competir y con ganas de querer seguir ganando, ¿no? Así que si es algo que puedo describir a este equipo, es un equipo con ganas de crear cierto impacto y con la determinación de, si es posible, dejar huella y ganar.
Es un campo que te trae buenos recuerdos, sacar tus primeros torneos como profesional. ¿Cómo lo encuentras ahora?
Bastante cambiado. Tengo uno de los mejores recuerdos que tengo en mi carrera porque quedé en el top 10 con mi padre de Cádiz, ¿no? Que es algo que siempre va a ser muy, muy especial, y también que fue mi primer torneo profesional que jugué, ¿no? Así que, siendo amateur. Así que Mayakoba siempre va a tener un lugar especial en mi carrera, en mi corazón. Ha cambiado bastante, mucho más estrecho, más difícil de tee a green de lo que ha sido en años pasados, que bueno, algo que a mí en teoría me alegra, ¿no? Porque es un campo en el que había que hacer muy pocos golpes en el pasado, y casi prefiero tener esa competición, ¿no? Esa competencia del campo en sí, para que sea todo un poco más difícil.
Adam Woodard.
Hey guys, John and Tyrrell, this one's mainly for you guys. I'm curious if you guys were able to, you heard what Rory McIlroy had to say about, players being involved in the Ryder Cup, and then players yesterday when he said they should be able to come back and play on the tour without any issues if they have membership. I'm curious what your reaction has been like to him, and what his hasn't really necessarily changed his stance too much, but he's been a lot more open-minded about things now. And just curious what your reaction was like to that on those two fronts.
I've spoken to Rory a bit in the past week and back in December, so that's kind of along the lines of what he said to me. So it's not a surprise to hear him say that in the media. Ultimately, I would like to still be able to play events on the other two tours, but we'll see how all that works out.
I would pretty much say the same on the lines as what Tyrrell said. I haven't spoken to him a lot recently, but he might have had a change in thought process, as in maybe with some of the things he said in the past. Right, I think he might be seeing that the landscape of golf is changing, and at some point you need to evolve, right? So I think he might be seeing that, and again, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but it's nice to have the support from a player in the caliber of Rory, right? Especially those Ryder Cup remarks he made early on. I think that's an important statement for change to be said.
The earlier news of the day was the PGA Tour and the Strategic Sports Group coming together and creating the PGA Tour Enterprise. Is the deal coming closer? They said the conversations with the PIF are still ongoing as well. I'm curious what your confidence level is like that a deal is going to get done, and have you thought a lot about that over the last few weeks?
We've had enough to think about. I mean, I was worried about maybe not having Tyrrell here this week, so yeah, that was really on the back of my mind, like really far back on my mind. Meaning, like, guys, there's a lot bigger people that are a lot smarter than me that are going to be worrying about that actually have a say in it, and they should be thinking about it. We are, at least, I think we're here to play golf, perform, and whatever comes.
And then Caleb, this has to be the last few weeks have to be pretty crazy for you. I'm curious what those have been like and what went into your decision to come out and join LIV.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously been a whirlwind of events, right? I mean, it's you go from I went from playing my final Jones Cup, which was my last amateur event, to then spending time with my girlfriend in Florida, to then receiving the call that afternoon saying it was official, and then driving back to Knoxville, Tennessee to move out of my dorm room. So this was 3 weeks ago time. So, you go from moving out of your dorm room to competing with the best players in the world, and, having two of them truly, being your daily mentors on the golf course. So, it seemed like a big opportunity for me and my golf game. And, of course, everybody's going to be entitled to their opinion, but I have no doubt that this is what was best for me and my golf game and the future of my professional career. It was, the conversations were a bit difficult. They were, I would say it was kind of tough to break the news, because it was, it's a big change, right? I'm on a very highly competitive college golf team that I was the leader of, and to kind of have to step up and leave, it's tough, right? So one thing that I made very well a point was to not just break the news to them and say I'm leaving. It was more of including everybody that was close to me and on my team in my decision. So it was a team decision. It was a group decision. It was not just Caleb Surratt saying what Caleb Surratt wants. So I had all the support in the world from my teammates. I had all the support in the world from my coaches, and I think everybody sees how great of an opportunity this is. And myself, more than anybody, just couldn't be more excited for it.
Hola John, por acá Sebastián Díaz de León de Imagen Televisión y Periódico Excelsior. Hace un año prácticamente te preguntaba acerca de ese número uno y tú me decías que no te importaba tanto, que si te regalaban otro mayor, regalabas el número uno. Hoy, sin estos torneos de renombre del PGA Tour y ahora en tu nueva casa, el LIV, ¿cuáles son los objetivos que tiene Jon Rahm, ¿no? ¿Qué persigue Jon Rahm?
Seguir ganando, lo mismo. Intentar ser el mejor aquí también e intentar seguir ganando grandes, así de simple. Si hay suerte, ganar como individual, ganar como equipo, ganarlo todo en general.
Jon, bienvenido a México. Quisiera que me explicaras un poquito qué significa para ti arrancar esta nueva etapa en tu vida de LIV Golf aquí en México.
Es lo dicho un poco, ¿no? Es donde empezó mi carrera profesional, entre comillas, ¿no? En el antiguo OHL en 2014, mi primer casi 10 años, qué pasada. Y bueno, vincular un poco lo que ha sido mi vida de amateur y profesional, incluso con este cambio al LIV Golf, es bonito, ¿no? Y ojalá sea el comienzo de una carrera igual de buena como la que he tenido hasta ahora.
Recuerdo que el año pasado muchos de los jugadores hablaban de la diferencia que existe a la hora de jugar aquí en LIV Golf respecto a la PGA Tour. ¿Tú también sientes esa diferencia, ese relajar un poquito las reglas que te permitan ser un poco más libre dentro de la grama?
Hemos tenido solamente 2 días para aclimatarnos y digamos que de cara al entrenamiento no es muy diferente de momento, no es más parecido a un evento con menos jugadores, será más fácil responder esta pregunta igual un domingo, ¿no? Después de haber competido unos días y después de haber visto cómo es el ambiente. Pero sí, obviamente diferencia hay, pero aún no sabría decirte.
¿Te emociona?
Mucho, sí, muchas ganas. La verdad que de momento el tener la música y un poco el bienestar de general de todos es palpante, no se nota.
Jon, en los últimos 2 meses que han sido de locos, ¿no? Ha convulsionado un poco el golf con tu fichaje. Y yo diría que por primera vez hay gente que no está de acuerdo, ¿no? Y ha podido haber críticas, ruido en las redes sociales. Me gustaría saber cómo has gestionado tú todos estos comentarios negativos, si te han afectado o no te han afectado.
Pues corazón que no ve, ¿no? Corazón que no siente. Al final, no verlo. Tuve muy claro el día que decidí hacerlo antes de afirmar que iba a haber gente que no iba a estar de acuerdo, ¿no? Obviamente lo hablé con mi familia y lo que tu familia piense es importante. Y teniendo su apoyo, el público dirá lo que diga y ya está. Al final no puedo juzgar a nadie por tener su propia decisión. Lo único que puedo decir es que igual no todos entienden porque no saben la vida que tenemos en general y no están en nuestra situación y va a ser difícil de entender, pero juzgar nunca voy a juzgar a nadie y bueno, pues es poco lo que he dicho antes, ¿no? Haga lo que haga cualquier día, siempre va a haber alguien que no esté de acuerdo con ello, ¿no? Así que digamos que no es algo que me haya molestado mucho.
Y Jon, otra pregunta. Lo que es el golf lo tienes controlado, evidentemente. Esta nueva faceta de capitán,
Sí.
¿qué ha sido lo más complicado de todo este proceso en estos 2 meses?
Bueno, de momento no he podido hacer mucho, porque de cara a fichar jugadores yo lo único que puedo hacer es llamar de vez en cuando y no intentar atosigar, ¿no? Así que ahora lo más difícil ha sido dejar, digamos, a los que están a cargo de fichar a estos jugadores, dejarles hacer su trabajo. Era un poco lo más difícil. Que yo quería llamarles, quería estar involucrado, pero no siempre es fácil para ellos escuchar lo que yo tenga que decir siendo jugador también, ¿no? Así que tengo ganas de aprender y de evolucionar como capitán también. Gracias a Dios tengo a muchísimos amigos deportistas y no deportistas con los que puedo hablar para aprender y me irán diciendo, ¿no? Pero imagino que un buen capitán tiene que saber cómo motivar a sus jugadores de maneras diferentes, así que ya veré qué se me ocurre, pero bueno, no creo que a estos les haga falta mucha motivación.
Jon, hola. En estos 2 meses y medio, que probablemente ha sido el periodo en invernal que más tiempo has tardado sin jugar, ¿te sientes ahora como, no sé, valga la expresión, como un león enjaulado? O sea,
un poco sí, ¿no? Es como, sobre todo el PGA Tour, habiendo empezado, no viéndoles competir, es como que hay ganas de volver a empezar, ¿no? Así que un poquito sí, pero también se agradece agradezco el haber podido estar en casa y no tener que entrenar y estar con la familia y celebrar las Navidades un poco con menos estrés, ¿no? La verdad que se agradece en ese sentido. Así que sí, pero sí, a lo que has dicho, sí, totalmente. Es un poco con ganas de salir.
Y has aprovechado y has pensado un poco en el menú del Masters, entiendo, ¿no?
Sí, pero no puedo hablar de ello, ¿no? El menú está hecho ya. El menú está hecho, pero ya me han dicho que no lo puedo hacer público aún porque creo que eso es labor del Masters en sí, ¿no? Así que, bueno, lo único que se puede decir, obviamente, he tirado a casa, ¿no? Y mucho no, todo lo que vamos a servir va a ser más, si no es de Bilbao, por lo menos de Euskadi es.
Gracias.
Bueno, quitando el vino no es de... Buen vino tinto en Bilbao no hay, así que... Beber sí, pero de otra cosa.
Back to English for a moment. I don't know how you do this, go back and forth. So just wondering if you guys have all had an opportunity over the last couple of days since you've been out here, or either watching on TV, to kind of take a look at the other teams. And if you have an idea of who you guys think is the team to beat out here this year. Caleb?
I mean, I think we're all very like-minded as far as it goes within, like, we're just going to kind of all do the stuff that we've been doing our whole lives, right? We're just going to let it add up as a team. Me driving the ball great throughout my round doesn't make Jon drive the ball great throughout his round, right? So I think we just have to go play our own games and just let it stack up. And my guess is that we're going to stack up pretty well. Obviously you have your powerhouse teams, but I think that they're trying to do the same thing that I just said. So that's kind of my take on it. And I think that if we do that, then we're going to be a great squad.
And Tyrrell?
Sorry, I was blanked out for
Oh,
a second there.
Asking you who do you think is the team to beat out here if you've had time to kind of observe? I know you just got here last night, but
yeah, I'm not fully up to speed as of yet for all the guys in all the teams, but I mean, ultimately we'll just be going out there trying our best like we do every other week, and yeah, I mean, with it being the first week back for a lot of guys, there's potentially going to be a little bit of rust there. Having said that, if I go out and play a bad round of golf on Friday, I don't really have much excuse. But yeah, we'll either way, we'll be trying our best, and hopefully we'll be one of the teams at the top.
and as a Ryder Cup legend, is the team aspect of this one of the reasons why you decided to come join LIV?
Yeah, definitely. I love the Ryder Cup. I follow other sports outside of golf that are team sports, and yeah, you're kind of envious of those guys having that team spirit week in, week out, and that was something that was very appealing for me to come and join LIV. And can't speak. I'm looking forward to getting to know the guys. Obviously, we only really met this morning, so see, I know John, but yeah, it's going to be a fun year, and yeah, looking forward to getting started.
Kieran, you have a bit of an upper hand because you have played out on LIV Golf before, and your brother's been playing out here, so you have some experience. Who do you think is the team to beat, knowing what you know?
Jane, I'm just thankful to answer a question, so I appreciate it. I was getting nervous. I was going to go through the whole interview without answering a question, but I got to get thinking now. I haven't been doing that.
Well, you don't speak Spanish, so.
No, I mean, I can try, but yeah, obviously super grateful to be able to play to be a part of last year's LIV and just kind of see how it's expanded this year. You know, I think we got a pretty good team ourselves right here in this building right now. So yeah, obviously there's a lot of teams, got a lot of factors, but I'd say this one's pretty good. Going to be hard to beat. So we're just going to go out there, do our thing, and hopefully come Sunday, champagne showers. I don't know.
Oh my God, none of you is going to mention a single team, really.
Who are you going to mention?
You're going to leave it up to me? You're going to leave it up to me? God.
Come on, Cap.
I mean, I did say this team, so.
I mean, yeah, I think we all like to think that we have a team to beat, right? But based on past performances, obviously, there's been trades, so a lot of times it's hard to see. Right? Like Tyrrell said, anybody has a chance any given week, but obviously, defending champions, crushers, both the league and here, right? 4 aces are always a strong team. With Taylor Gooch now on the team, Smash is always going to be with 2 great players with him and Brooks. Definitely a chance. Torque played great last year as well, right? So let's say those 4 teams so far, the quickest ones that come to mind that obviously have been playing really, really good golf. Fireballs as well now with Pooch in it. Played quite a bit of golf back home with him since we both live in Arizona, and he can easily take it deep on the golf course. So they definitely have the firepower as well. I mean, I could go name in every single team, but I think
you just start a rivalry between Legion and somebody.
I'll leave it up to you guys. So everybody here, right, and are good at creating those rivalries. So we're gonna leave it up to that.
And Kieran, you had an interesting. So you won the promotions event, but then you had no idea what team you'd be going to, who you'd be playing with. Can you kind of walk us through the moment when you found out that you were going to be joining Jon Rahm's team? It must have been pretty exciting.
Yeah. Obviously, it was kind of an interesting couple of, I guess it was just over a month of not really knowing, but knowing it's going to be sweet no matter what situation you find yourself on. And I wouldn't really say one's better than the other, but again, this is pretty sweet to be out here. I think the 3 guys that we have, the 4 guys we have on this team is just, super cool. Obviously, adding Tyrrell the last minute there, I think that's a great addition to the team. And so this team just going to, as we gel together and get to know each other, I think it's just going to grow from strength to strength. So pretty sweet.
And we haven't really talked about the brand. We unveiled the Legion 13 brand yesterday. Do you want to talk just a little bit about how you came to the name and the logo, and would like to hear from the other guys on how you feel about wearing the lion patch?
Yeah, they really haven't told me yet, so I don't know. It's a bit of a long story how we came up with it. So I'll try to sum it up a little bit.
You can shorten it.
Yeah, I'll try. I don't want to leave up anything. I mean, basically, especially after the Ryder Cup and being in Rome, the whole gladiator theme was something that was really appealing to me. Gladiator, warrior spirit, something that meant fight and kind of a team fighting together. And a couple of the names came up, and at some point, somebody said Legion 13, knowing they were going to be the 13th team. And me and my wife, Kelly, and a couple other people kind of looked up and looked at each other like, that's a better ring than other things, right? And then when you get into the Legion and what it means in itself, I thought it was an empowering name. And then basically two things as to why it sounded so good. This is a comic book I grew up reading as a kid. I know, surprising, right? And it's named Asterix and Obelix. I don't know if anybody knows what it is. But it's a town somewhere in Europe that the Romans couldn't conquer because they had a wizard that had a magic potion. And the Legion in charge of trying to conquer that town over and over is Legion 13, which was also a real legion that was always faithful to Julius Caesar, both while he was, I believe, the consul for the Republic and then as an emperor as well, kind of helped him get back to Rome and not take over, but yeah, kind of take over. So there was a lot of storylines throughout it, and that's why we liked it so much.
And the lion?
That's short enough?
Almost.
Yeah, okay.
My Diet Coke's getting warm. So
it's been warm, Tyrrell. It's been warm. And the lion, well, being an Athletic Bilbao fan, they're called the Lions. It's an unofficial, right? There's not a logo, but it's the unofficial team name. And I wanted to go down that route. And then the style of the lion and then the lettering is basically where I try to use my ancestry and my ties to the Basque Country where I'm from, and they used a lot of the writing that you would see there to create that actual logo. So yeah, they did a really good job. I'm happy with how it turned out. We have a lot of options with 13 and lions and different things, but I'm happy with the one we ended up with.
And you guys all proud to be wearing the lion patch?
You're not going to say no after hearing that, though, are you?
I hope not. But you feel free to be honest.
Okay,
Hola.
I think we're going to go back to Spanish.
Por acá.
Una última pregunta. Hablando de justamente del uniforme, ¿cómo te veremos vestir el domingo? Sabemos que tenías una ropa tradicional el domingo y extendiendo lo que México significa para ti. Obviamente victoria en Puerto Vallarta, hoy en uno en la Ciudad de México. Entonces, ¿con qué te quedarías para este fin de semana? Una victoria sería algo todavía más especial por lo que has conseguido ya en México. Ya hablábamos antes de hace 10 años casi, y ahora con toda la experiencia que has tenido en este país.
Sería algo especial la victoria, sí. Poder ganar, ¿no? Casi de costa a costa en México, de Puerto Vallarta aquí, poder ganar, tener la opción en Ciudad de México, no haberlo conseguido, pero tener la opción, ¿no? Así que se me ha olvidado que era la primera parte de la pregunta.
¿Tu ropa para el domingo?
La ropa del domingo. No, eso va a ser decisión de equipo. Al final soy consciente de que no soy el único aquí y no le gusta igual a todos el mismo color, así que vamos a ver qué queremos como equipo y igual que queda mejor, ¿no? Así que no es 100% seguro que vayamos de rojo.
¿Un poquito de superstición?
No, para nada. Yo empecé a hacer de pequeño pues ser fan del Atleti porque el color era mi color favorito, ¿no? Pero bueno, ya eso no... Podemos hacer que nuestra ropa de digamos, nuestro uniforme de batalla el domingo sea uno diferente.
Entre latinos y españoles se habla mucho español aquí en LIV. ¿Qué crees que sea lo que le atrae a los hispanoparlantes este tour?
No solo a los hispanohablantes, a los que no son igual americanos en general. Yo creo que es la oportunidad de jugar en diferentes partes del mundo, ¿no? Ya que igual estamos acostumbrados a viajar más. Es algo que para mí es emocionante, el poder venir aquí, el poder ir a Australia, a Singapur, a Hong Kong, a Arabia, ¿no? Al final, el poder hacer lo que nos gusta y lo que amamos ante públicos diferentes no es algo que es especial, ¿no? El idioma que hables no sé si quieren decir mucho o no, pero digamos que si vamos con el estereotipo de lo que son españoles y latinos en general, igual la forma esa más relajada, un poco más de fiesta, entre comillas, es la que nos viene un poco mejor, ¿no? Así que no sé si tienen algo que ver, pero bueno, yo creo que es un poco más el viaje en general.
¿Vino la chaqueta? ¿La trajiste o no?
¿Aquí?
Sí.
No, hombre, ¿por qué?
No sé.
No, hombre, no. Está guardada en casa, ¿no?
John, por acá.
¿Juegas
Los dos. Voy de uno al otro sin darme cuenta, la verdad. Cuando cuento pasos, cuento en español, eso sí.
John, por acá, Marisol del Economista. Ahora puedes jugar en cualquier major y en esta liga. ¿Qué importancia tiene para ti todavía el World Ranking? ¿Todavía tiene un significado?
Ya tuve yo ya expliné mi crítica sobre el ranking mundial en general. No creo que fuese el más certero que podríamos tener hoy en día. Y bueno, viniendo aquí sabemos que puntos pocos, ¿no? Así que a no ser que juegue muy, muy bien en los grandes, mi ranking va a bajar y es lo que hay, ¿no? Yo creo que todos somos conscientes de quiénes son, digamos, los 10 mejores del mundo, jueguen donde jueguen y digan lo que diga el ranking.
Two more very important questions. How are we all enjoying wearing shorts?
You know, I thought I was going to be wearing pants more often, and it was very, very quickly apparent to me that as soon as I can, I'm going to be wearing shorts. So,
Tyrrell?
I still think I'm going to be wearing trousers, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I just the tournament days. Yeah, I think I'll probably be sticking with that.
I'll check in
Unless
with you
it's-
mid-season, okay?
Maybe Singapore I might have to
Maybe
wear
Sunday
shorts,
here.
but
Sunday here is going to be hot.
yeah.
And last one for Caleb. Are you going to grow a beard to match your team?
Can you grow a beard? That's the
If
first
I
question.
can, I don't know. I mean, if we were to win the event, I don't even know if I could take
When's the
part
last
in
time
the
you shaved?
champagne thing.
Oh, 6 weeks
Not
ago.
often. Yeah,
It's before
we'll get
Christmas
there
for
one
sure.
day. So
I mean, you can. You're in Mexico, right? So it's 18. Sorry to you as audiences, but technically it would be legal. Nobody's going to force you, though. Don't worry.
yeah,
Thank
we're
you
all
guys so much. Good luck this week. We
Thank
look
you.
forward to seeing you out there. And yeah, we'll be cheering you on. Congratulations.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.